actor slash singer slash songwriter Kevin Costner. Kevin, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Joe.
Hey, you were here in Atlantic City a few months ago, and I told somebody that you were going to be at the House of Blues, and their response was, "What is he going to do there?"
Exactly.
Do you find a lot of people are surprised by your musical career?
Well, the truth is, a lot of people are surprised, that I went to college with, that I went into acting. I mean, people carve out their own life, and they don't ask people's permission, and yeah, I'm sure it comes, the response is, huh?
Uh-huh.
But that's okay because, I just went into music for myself. I didn't know that I would end up in the House of Blues. I didn't know I'd end up on this phone.
Mm-hmm.
I just started, my wife encouraged me to go back into music. She said, it looks like that's where you're the happiest. And, which was kind of cool of her. And so I just started playing music live about 4 years ago again. And that's what this has been about. And what I knew from my own movie career was that you just kind of go where you feel like you can deliver,
mm-hmm.
that you have something to say.
Right.
And you see where that takes you, and not use your celebrity, but just play live.
Cat Country 107.3, we're talking with Kevin Costner. Him and his band, Modern West, are going to be in Sayreville Friday at the Starland Ballroom. Do you find when you're out on stage singing that maybe people are getting more a glimpse of Kevin Costner than they do when you're on the big screen?
Well, that's what my wife said, without a doubt. She just said, "Look at it. For people who think they know you, their best chance is if they see you play music." Now, I don't know what that means,
mm-hmm.
but I do feel very natural on the stage. It's somehow at that moment, everything, the universe starts to make sense to me when the band's playing.
Now, are you sacrificing movie roles to do this, or are you just kind of walking around?
No, I'm if you boil me down, Joe, I'm really an entertainer. That's my DNA to tell stories, and so I'll be directing this year, hopefully, or mostly, as I play out the second half of my career, I'll probably direct quite a bit more.
Are you going to think you can maybe use your own music in some of your movies, maybe?
Well, we used Backyard in Swing Vote.
Okay.
That's where we actually, there's 3 or 4 songs that we wrote that ended up in that particular movie, and so I won't make a habit of that. It just lent itself to it because as the part as written, I was in this band called the Half Nelsons, who we were a Willie Nelson cover band, so to speak, and so the part lent itself to it. But no, I don't force my music into a situation.
What are some of who are some of your musical influences?
Well, I grew up in a place called Compton, California, and so my first exposure to music really was Motown.
Mm-hmm.
But my family's from Oklahoma, so every time I wrote a song, it had a kind of a more of a country or western, a kind of a rural feel.
How would you describe your music now?
Well, I think it's kind of a rock and roll. With kind of country themes, meaning people who are from the country.
Right.
It doesn't really have a twang, so to speak, and we sometimes write age-appropriate songs, which are about like Katrina, which is 5 Minutes to America. That's what that song's about, and The Sun Will Rise deals kind of what you'd say with the economics of what Americans are going through today, and then Superman is about when you're 11 years old. So. Leland, that's on the record, is about we put that song together about 18 years ago when I was making Field of Dreams.
Your album is called Untold Truths, and what are people going to hear when they see you on stage next or later this week?
Well, they'll probably hear 4 or 5 or 6 songs that aren't on the record because we just continue to write. Mm-hmm. I might play an old friend for somebody, you know what I mean? But we're exclusively original music, and they can expect it to be loud, and they can expect it to be about stories.
What's it been like being on tour for you and doing the traveling from different town rather than staying in one place to do a movie?
Yeah, well, that's been different, but I have found that I've written a lot. I've written about 2 screenplays while I've been on the road, and so it's been a real. Because I've never quite experienced being so buzzed after a concert, and suddenly it's 2 a.m. and I'm writing.
Mm.
So that's been kind of the residual of what playing music is. But it's nice to not go too long because because I'm anxious to get back home.
Cat Country 107.3. We're talking with Kevin Costner, the actor and the singer and the songwriter. What do you do in your spare time, Kevin?
Well, I'm a fisherman. I scuba dive. I play with my children. It's pretty basic. I love. I'm kind of a manual labor guy. I like building the roads on my property and digging in dirt. It's look, I've lived a really unusual life, pretty blessed. But when I still break my life down, I kind of want to build forts. I like digging in the ground.
Are you into any of this TV stuff, the American Idol, or anything like that?
My wife is. She really loves it, and so I am able to dip in and check it out.
How about technologically? Are you on the computer? Or?
No, not very much. I've made sure that we're on MySpace, Kevin Costner, right. Modern West MySpace. I make sure we made a traditional website also, and to let people know what we're doing. But it's not something I'm very comfortable with. I know how to email. I'm not trying to sound like a caveman. Mm-hmm. It's not like I was raised with wolves, but I'm not that swift on it. It hasn't consumed me, but I appreciate it.